Think there is some way that this can be brought to a conclusion peacefully for everybody?
Yes, I think there are definitely ways that we can reach a peaceful end, but we have to start off with media coverage. And this is something that's very important. Yep. You guys have your own show here. And I just don't understand, James. I mean, you say this is unleashed, but it seems your co-host has a knack of calling for genocide on your program. So I'm just wondering, why don't you have a shorter leash on your co-host?
I don't.
Yes, you have.
Hang on.
Yes, you have. I've got the quote right in front of me.
Have you read the quote out? Because I don't remember that.
Yeah, man.
Okay, and it's got hundreds of thousands
of views. Yeah, well, read the quote out.
It must be true then. Yeah.
Important for people to know.
But
so
you're talking. Read the quote.
I'm going to read it.
Yeah,
I'll read it if you let me.
We're all ears.
Ash said the Palestinians need to rise up and get rid of Hamas. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Fair enough. And the Palestinian journalist Ahmed, who you had on the show, he responded and he said, but if the people, the Palestinians, do not get up and revolt against them, referring to Hamas, does that give Israel a right to bomb Gaza and kill everyone?
No,
and do you know what Ash's response was?
Well,
I think it does.
I never said that.
If Germany didn't rise up against the Nazis, ultimately people are responsible for their government.
Oh yeah, I do agree with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. Well, in the Second World War, we did do the Blitz, and that was against people as well. It was psychological warfare.
The Blitz was against us.
Well, it was against them as well. We did the Blitz against the Germans.
So do you defend that statement?
Well,
do you defend that statement?
No,
I said sometimes in war. I mean, you don't remember Hiroshima? That was killing everyone, wasn't it?
No.
Sometimes total war means, so sometimes that is the case in certain wars.
In any war, innocent people get killed is a tragedy, in any war. But unfortunately, the people of the Palestinian areas have been taken over by a bunch of scumbag terrorists, and that is the problem. So how are Israel supposed to get rid of them when they put innocent people in front of them? They're still fighting very ferociously in the West Bank and Gaza. And we don't hear too much about it at the moment because the people are getting bored with it. You know, Hamas have got to be dealt with. Wouldn't you agree?
With all due respect, sir, you're not answering my question.
Well,
I just quoted you him directly calling for genocide of
the people of
No,
Gaza.
you're talking rubbish.
Yes, you did.
No. You're talking rubbish.
No, he said, the gentleman asked you the question, does that give Israel a right to bomb Gaza and kill everyone? You said, I think it does.
Well, if one side, let me just come into this, is saying that, yes, I'm sorry, but because we have been brutalized by Hamas, where they went into a village and they killed everybody, and that is without any kind of doubt. The evidence is too good for anybody to actually doubt.
I'm sure
that.
you doubt it, don't you?
We're not getting.
I haven't doubted anything. No. In fact, I'm the only one on this program that can legitimately have any problem with October 7th. Why? Because you guys right here are justifying that the Palestinian people, women, children, babies in incubators can be killed because of what Hamas is doing. You are saying that Israel has the right to bomb and kill.
There's collateral damage.
They're not being
because of the fact that Hamas.
It's not intentional. Any civilians are not intentional.
You know, I'm getting really bored with this shouting. It's really annoying me. The fact is,
I know it's hard on you.
The fact is that Hamas are fighting the Americans, using the people of Palestine as shields.
Israelis.
And, you know, they're shooting at the Israelis, they're bombing the Israelis.
They're killing the Palestinians if they try and get away.
And something has to be done about it. In any war situation, you are not going to stop until you win.
So that justifies genocide. That justifies genocide?
But Israel are killing a much smaller amount than the States.
Wait.
I would take
innocent people.
A ratio. Stop.
A ratio of innocent people.
I would argue that your definition of genocide is completely wrong. And if you went into a
what does kill everyone mean?
Yeah, but Israel could have done that on day one.
Are we going to argue about
That's not the question.
Like
I'm talking about
if Israel wanted to do that, they'd have done it.
I'm not talking about Israel. I'm talking about you calling for Israel to bomb Gaza and kill everyone.
Right. Enough.
Hey,
enough. Right. this is getting nowhere. So let's move on to another part of this. Do you condemn Hamas? Are you prepared to do that?
I'm not prepared to condemn anything, and I'm not prepared to be asked moral questions from somebody who's defending
I'm asking
genocide,
you the question, not him.
And I'm answering you.
Look,
that
are
you,
you
sir,
completely
are you
stupid? You are really annoying me now. So why don't you just shut up for a while and answer the question? Are Hamas terrorists or not?
Why don't you keep... This is supposed to be James Whale Unleashed.
Are you going to answer this question?
He's unleashing.
This is supposed to be... Yeah, this is supposed to be James
it's very easy. Wait a minute, Ash. It's very easy for you to say that Hamas are terrorists, and then we can move on to something else.
I am not going to be questioned.
You're an idiot. Goodbye.
About the
Get rid of
morality
him.
of my
I don't want him anymore. I don't really want him anymore.
Answer the question.
You don't want me on here.
Answer the question.
I don't want you because you are just being stupid.
Because you're defended genocide for the past 5 minutes.
You are scared of Hamas.
You're scared because I'm calling you out on your genocide.
You are not calling anybody out.
You're promoting genocide on your own program.
You are such an idiot, and people like you are stupid. Why don't you just admit that Hamas...
You defended genocide.
Well, let's move on. What is the answer? What is the answer then to this? Let's move on from that.
The answer is that, Ash, you have no business questioning me about
Let's
Hamas.
move on. Can you move on?
October the 7th,
until you
apologize. You and
I didn't say that.
Look, I'm getting fed up with this. I've had enough of this.
I didn't say it.
You owe an apology.
I'm not going on with this. I'm making me feel
and the British
Get rid of it now.
for defending genocide on your part.
Cut him off now, or I will come out there and I will give you...
You want to cut me off. You want to cut me off because you can't handle the truth.
I can't
boring. You think it's going back
on and on.
You can't handle the truth.
I find you annoying.
James Whale, let me ask you a question.
I'm not interested until you tell me that these people in Hamas are terrorists. Okay, that's all you've got to do.
Until you can condemn your co-host for calling for genocide on your own program, I don't know you a penny. I don't know you anything.
Just move on.
We've dealt with that. We've dealt with it.
I'm not going to move on until you apologize to the Palestinian people for calling for genocide on this program.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
You said, I think Israel has the right to bomb Gaza and kill everyone.
Well, I didn't say that, but as I said, in the Second World War, what about Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
So do you want to
I think you'll find he said that Israel have the right to carry on fighting until the other side have given up and stopped actually bombing Israel.
No, he said bomb Gaza and kill
whatever you think. I don't believe that. Even, I haven't said that, and I don't believe it, so I've clarified that. My answer is, you haven't answered the question. My answer is, I think there's collateral damage. Israel are going out their way to try and kill them in, which is why there's a very low ratio. Even quoting the Hamas figures, it's about 1 innocent person to 1 terrorist, which is very low indeed. It's just unheard of.
I don't actually know why we bother with these people anymore.
Well, I'm quoting the Hamas figures. It's probably a lot better than that, but that's going with the worst Hamas figures.
But that's not good for you because you want all Palestinians dead.
No, I don't. Oh, you can't get over that, can you?
How many more times do you want him to say
I think it's really sad when I see Palestinian kids dead. It's horrible.
Genocidal language? You expect me to get over your genocidal language?
What do you think of a 2-state solution as an answer to this?
Well, look at what you're...
What do you think of a 2-state?
Oh, look at what your co-host... Get over it, man.
Let me
get over it.
What do you think of the fact of your co-host...
I'm living rent-free in your mind.
Genocide.
You've been dreaming about me.
It's not...
I didn't say that, and I don't believe I said it, and I don't believe it anyway.
Okay, so...
All right,
so move on.
No, listen, stop shouting.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
It's beginning to make me feel...
If it comes out...
I would like you then, and I'll try... I would like you to apologise for what Hamas did on October the 7th.
I will apologize for what Hamas did on October the 7th and anything that they've ever done if Ash can apologize for his statement.
I didn't say it.
Yeah, well, hang on.
I don't believe that.
You say it first, and then we'll look at the tape, see, but it doesn't look like he said it.
Okay, so if he said that, are you going to have to... I think there should be an investigation into Ash in this show.
Well, you go and investigate.
You're calling that... You're saying, sir...
You see, you just go on and on and on and on. You won't answer the question.
This is James Whale Unleashed, but you have too short of a leash on your co-host Ash. You need a tighter leash.
I don't believe. I don't believe a word of what you say. If I thought he had said he thought genocide was acceptable, I probably wouldn't have him on the show anymore. I don't believe.
I don't believe that anyway.
And he doesn't believe
it. Even if I had said that, it would have been a mistake. I didn't say it.
Look, can we stop this? I would like to have a conversation about the war sensibly to see what can be done to stop it. But every time I talk to somebody like you, you go mad. And it just tells me now that while this is happening and while there are people like you on the air stirring up this trouble, that there isn't going to be any peace. Don't you feel
like you
bad about that?
Genocide? You mean the people
I've
like
already
you
explained. You know, there's nowhere we can go with you.
You said that if you find
he didn't.
I don't believe that, and I didn't say
if it came out.
So get over it.
Wait a minute. If it came out and you thought that's what he meant, then we're very sorry. But he doesn't want to see genocide anywhere.
If it's true that he did say it, then would you remove him from the show?
Moving on. What would you like to talk about?
Yeah,
we know what you'd like to talk about.
I would like to talk about...
You don't trust the mainstream media, right? You don't trust the mainstream media. So what do you want to say that actually you don't think the mainstream media would let you say?
There are plenty of things, but we've went over one for the past 10 minutes. I'll move on to the next point.
So let's move on to the next one.
I will move on to the next point, but I hope that you guys will check the tape, okay? Fair enough? Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the fact that in Israel, there was an investigation that was just done that nearly 50% of the bombs that have been used by Israel are known as what is called dumb bombs. Did you come across that article?
I don't think they're called dumb bombs. They're various other things. But there are complaints about the weaponry and everything that is being used on both sides. Yeah.
Every Hamas weapon, a bomb is a dumb bomb.
There's been an investigation that 40 to 50% of the bombs being used by Israel are unguided, quote-unquote, dumb bombs used from the 1950s.
I haven't heard that.
You haven't heard that?
No, I haven't heard that.
I mean, that is used in all wars. I mean, we use that in Iraq,
I guess that's why.
But if there is something against the articles of war, when this is finished, there will be investigations, and we will know, and it will be sorted out. So what?
Yeah. So, but would you
there was apparently, I'm just being told by my producer, there was an article on CNN about that.
CNN, yeah. Didn't they have one of their reporters actually went on the massacre with the Hamas?
The assessment was actually compiled by the assessment was compiled by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. Yeah. And they found from 3 sources who have seen the data that 40 to 45% of the 29,000 air-to-ground munitions...
Yeah, but you aim the dumb bombs. You do aim them.
Let me just finish. Have been unguided.
Yeah. But you aim them. You still aim them.
Yeah.
Not all missiles are guided.
There's a lot of weaponry that isn't guided.
Yeah, you aim them. Mortars aren't guided. You aim it.
But, James, what I'm trying to say to you is, if 40 to 45% of the bombs being used, when they do have smart bombs, because the U.S. has given them millions of dollars and weaponry to use the smart bombs.
It's not unlimited, is it? It's not unlimited.
Why is nearly 50% of the bombs that they are dropping on densely populated civilian areas
that they've told them to leave?
Guided missiles. If they were so concerned about accurate, precise targets and taking care of civilians and not killing
every strike goes through lawyers.
Why are they dropping nearly 50% of their bombs as unguided?
It's probably. I don't think these bombs are from 1957, by the way, but they might have been developed in 1957.
There's lots of weapons.
You know, a lot of weapons are not guided.
And they're not new.
There are lots and lots of people, sadly, in very small spaces in Gaza, and that is causing quite a lot of
well, it's actually a very
people.
Small amount comparatively to the population.
But it is sad, and we're all sad about people who get killed who aren't part of the war.
But to stop it, they just release the hostages and surrender. It's all over.
Maybe people like you, people like you actually trying to convince Hamas that this war needs to stop completely. And maybe all the innocent people need to be allowed to leave, and then if Hamas want to fight they've got a place they can fight. That's how they want to go.
Where do you want the innocent people to go?
I'm sure they could be
just go to the south. You know, that won't happen though because they use them as shields.
So what we want is the next steps, how this is going to end, how we get to a proper, sensible conclusion rather than everybody yelling. I'm getting so fed up with the yelling.
Mm-hmm.
How do we do it? How do we do it?
Well, the first thing we can do is have accurate media coverage and not call for genocide.
Media doesn't really matter. What are the two sides got to do?
Yes, it do. Yes, it does matter. Yes, it does. There should be one state in which all people have equal rights. That's what I think should happen.
Good.
But unless and until justice can be established, an independent investigation can be done on both sides, on both Hamas and what Israel has done, and that not just an investigation, that something will actually come out of it where people will be held accountable for what they're doing in war.
I totally agree. Would you not like to see the United Nations being brought in and Israel being told, you know, you're going to have the UN?
Well, they are there. They work for Hamas, the UN, in the main.
Well, we hope that we can.
I didn't say it has to be the United Nations. I didn't say. I'm saying a third-party, independent investigation.
Who would you choose as a third party? The Americans?
You could have the United Nations. You could have the Americans. Look what Joe Biden just said. He just had to come out, and we know that America is a strong supporter historically of Israel. He just came out and said that, look, Israel's starting to lose the favor of the public because of their indiscriminate bombing. And that reflects the investigation that took place.
We did say that. I mean, they sent in 10 soldiers. 10 soldiers got killed yesterday because they are actually going into...
Yeah, if America was prepared to do that, do you think Hamas would actually put their weaponry down if American soldiers were sent in to keep the peace?
Well, look, I think it's very possible. I think that Donald Trump, when he was president, and he came back from Palestine and spoke with both sides. And did you know what he said? And the interview has resurfaced recently in light of the recent conflict. He said, he spoke to Bibi Netanyahu, and after speaking to him for 5 minutes, he said to him, I don't think you really want a deal. You don't really want a deal, do you? But when he spoke to Hamas's leadership and the Palestinian leadership, he said that, look, it looked like they were actually amenable to a deal.
That's what they did for a couple of years with Israel, but they were actually planning this attack. It was all a ruse, wasn't it? It was all a big ruse.
We don't know that.
This was when Donald Trump was president.
They were at peace with Israel and sending loads of workers into Israel.
I'd like to stop on a high. I'd like to say I think we've come to an interesting conclusion because I'm fed up with the yelling on both sides. And if a third party, a strong third party, can be brought in to bring peace and keep people safe, then I think that will be...
I don't think that's going to work.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
Well, it's not going to work.
Hopefully it will. Thank you very much indeed, Jake. Good to talk to you.